Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome back for the morning show here at Cybertrading University. Welcome, cyber traders, everybody on social media. It looks like we are having a little mixed morning here. Regarding about yesterday, I mean, we're getting more and more talks about these tariffs and everything else. And we had a little bit of a bounce yesterday. We had earnings that came out. The Tesla earnings did pretty, were horrible. And, we saw what happened when Elon Musk came out. I did a nice little video on that. Hopefully you guys had a chance to watch it. Just always make sure you like it, friend it, share it, and always give us a thumbs up, okay? Very important for us. And we are broadcasting on that on all our channels. But we got a couple of good stocks that are moving. I want to bring up really quick. I want to go back to Tesla, actually, now kind of bring it up. I want to show you level 4 because there's something very unusual I didn't see here in pre-market before. And I'm going to bring this up here and show it to you, everybody. You'll notice that here around $44 and $45, you could see we're starting to get like a huge support level right here. We're trading about 251. And we're making higher highs in the pre-market. Now, I very rarely ever see that in a pre-market stock, but very, very promising for the stock. I'm very, very thankful I got back into it. I sold it. I know a lot of us that do. We get into the cheaper one, the TSLL. If you can't afford Tesla, you bought that one. Also, the TSLY did pretty well on that. You could see the long-term charts in the bottom right, how they got destroyed. But so far, those stocks are looking really, really well. We just shared that link over there. You could see it's in the chat room. So make sure you guys click on it and like it and friend it. And Rich, if we could post a YouTube one, because some people don't have Instagram also, that would be a great one too to share. But anyway, a lot of good things that moving in the market, getting a little bit mixed. We saw that United Airlines, American Airlines came out with earnings. A lot of them coming out today. They basically beat earnings, but didn't really go anywhere. Where is it now? American didn't really go anywhere, but we have Google that's coming out today. So we did post up the link. Hopefully everyone also is getting that calendar. It was honestly, it was a crappy earnings session so far. Nothing sexy about anything about the earnings that happened so far. I don't know if earnings if it's the tariffs have a lot to do with it, whatever. I'm probably going to expect probably the next quarter is going to get affected, but not a lot of anything, not a lot of that much going on. So this is probably one of the worst I've probably seen in a long, long time as earnings go, but we'll see what happens with Google and everything else. Those are pretty much the big ones that are coming out. But before we go through the watch list, let's talk about some of the stocks that did move yesterday on some swings. So we could look at, let me change this to a 2-day chart. So you could see that. So we saw that Tesla took a very, very big hit to 244, shot up, big resistance levels at 258. And I'm not really seeing any sellers out there till 260. You see it right there. So but there's a big support level right around that 245. And if you look at 245 right here, you could see it from yesterday and today that those orders are really, really, really strong at that number. So that's a really good sign. And that's what we need. And by the way, that is only pre-market. That's a fraction of what we're going to see until program trading kicks in at 9:30. Now, just to remind all of you here, we are going to be staying live on YouTube, and then we are going to have our free event that's going to be coming up today at 12 o'clock. So please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. If you're watching on social media, if you got your phone, we got that little QR code in the top right-hand corner. Click on it, scan it. We'll get you registered for it if you want to learn how to read what I'm showing you on the level 3 and level 4 and how to use NASDAQ Book Viewer and everything else. But anyway, we had that stock that did really well. Let me go over a couple other ones. Also, we had NVIDIA that did well, NVDA. And yesterday was a typical brand name type of day. I mean, we had a really, really comeback from the day before on the Dow. We're hovering right around that 40,000. The S&P also holding really strong here. So a lot of things are making some big comebacks. There is some pretty good deals. As long as you bought them right, and that's what's the power of being a good day trader. I know some people don't tried it, didn't do well with it. Some of you new trial members are here and you're learning. Some of you watching on social media. You want to learn how to swing trade. You want to learn how to invest. You got to know what happens over the course of the day because that's how you see these things how they come to fruition. So that one did pretty well. What else that we had that did well? OKLO. So that one also did well yesterday. You could see it went from like 21 to 23. It wasn't a great day. Intel also did really well too. Intel with the earnings. What else we had here that did pretty well? A couple of non-brand name stocks that we traded. This one, AGRI moved up a little bit. We also had QBTS. I want to keep an eye on some quantum stocks. I also want to keep an eye. I've been hearing a lot. Listen, I watch this. I watch the financial stations. I don't have a favor one versus the other, but I'm also hearing a lot that talking about nuclear stocks. Okay, so I think we're probably going to get some action going on some of the nuclear. So we'll keep an eye on that. Oh, Archer did really well yesterday too, by the way. That was a really nice move. I know a lot of us jumped in on a swing trade. I'm a very big fan of Archer, on Archer Aviation, big military, with their drones and everything else. And we did well. Michael, we did pretty well on that one too, right? Palantir, PLTR, did really good pop right there. Obviously signing that big deal with NATO and SMCI. Nice little push on that one. I mean, SMCI trades very, very close and similar with NVIDIA. PLTU. Yep, that was the other one right there, the ETF. So a lot of good stocks out there. All right, let's go through the morning watch list because there are a couple of good ones that are moving for today. Remember, today is hump day. Thursdays and Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays are the best days to trade. So right away, we had this one stock, BCTX, that moved up really nice. She's starting to move up again, 14 million shares. She's probably a category 3 from what I could see here so far, but not a bad moving stock. BCTX, that's going on the watch list, up about 68%. Here's another one. I like this one a little bit better. Well, let me I have to clear some things out here on my level 4. Unsubscribe. Just taking out some of the stocks from yesterday we had in here. Always like to clean out my list. ZENA. Let's see what's going on with that one right now. I'm going to load up some data here. All right, so here we go. Here's our data right here. So we got a couple of orders out here hovering. You see those little bright lines on the right, the current order book, right around 320, 330, 340, right around there. She's starting to trend down a little bit. I mean, that number is pretty high. Got some buyers out here at 270. Not a lot, but not a bad looking stock. Good spread, level 1 stock. ZNNA. What else we got here? This one's just starting making up the rankings. We're not going to trade this, too expensive. AREB was another good runner from yesterday. She's moving again this morning. Last year, she was a $200 stock. The stock got destroyed. We're going to put this on a watch list. It's nice because something like this now could turn into a swing trade. But it was a great day trade yesterday, and now she's probably continue with it. I can see a lot of transactions, 10 million shares, up 19%. That's what we're looking for. This one, pass. Pony, too, was a very good stock yesterday, too. Another one that went from $4 up to $5. It was a really good morning mover. She's moving up again this morning. Maybe Pony now turned into, a swing trade. So it's still on the day trade list. It could be a swing trade. CEP, another one. Good move yesterday. You could see her ran from 11 all the way to 13. Then she was an afternoon mover. She's starting to trend down a little bit right now this morning. But here's a stock you could see here. It was right around $10, ran to about 22, up about almost 100% on the swing trade. Really, really nice mover. Don't like the spread, though. That's the problem. And if you're a student of CyberTrading University, Josh was teaching classes doing phase 1 this week. And if you don't want to get into it, make sure you talk to education advisor. 50% of you people that trade in today's market fail because of spreads. They don't know how to read spreads. They get themselves in trouble. They don't know why they're already in a loser when they finally buy the stock. And very, very important part of the lesson when we teach at CyberTrading University. So make sure you watch those classes, all right? Very, very important. And we'll cover it again today at 12 o'clock. So looking forward to that. All right, losers. Here we got some losers going on. Nothing really attractive in there. New York Stock Exchange, anything going on there. This one, not really tradable. This is just way too expensive. Wow, there was a stock. I never heard of this stock. Serves Now. Wow. Now I never heard that. I don't think we ever traded that stock before. It's unbelievable. There are still some stocks in almost $1,000 range. I mean, the only thing I really kind of look at is I see the $1,000 is Costco, and what else we follow? Eli Lilly in that price range, but pretty much that. I really don't see too many of them out there. SOX is an ETF. These are all ETFs. We're going to pass on those. We're at 5%. What is this stock taking a very big hit? RHI. TAL. This is a Chinese stock. We trade the stock many of times. If Tao's down, that means that the other one is down too. This is the Chinese education. ALK going down, Alaska Air, because all these airline stocks came out. That one took a very nasty hit. IBM earnings came out on that, not looking good on that one either. Nice little slingshot on that one too. That one not doing too well. Yeah, we can keep an eye on IBM. Maybe it could be too expensive. Too expensive. Intel did a little well. They had earnings, right? Intel's got a little push. Just watch Intel. Intel's very tradable. It's always has really, really nice support and resistance levels. Yes, Michael, that one too. I'm going to bring it up. The DJT stock did well yesterday. The only issue, it's been doing well. You could see it consistently right here. You can see how it's been doing pretty well right here, 15 to 26. Really nice move, but it's coming up to some big resistance levels that I'm worried about. I don't know. Listen, Trump, Elon, maybe he wants to go public with X. Could they be a merger between the two? It's possible, or he'd be in public. It's kind of hard to run two different platforms, with Trump Media and, with True Social and X. So I don't know. You could probably see something going on, but I like when you start seeing something like this move the way it's moving. I kind of like to read between the lines, but it was a really good swing trade. You could see right here, the stock was all the way down here, right around this $11. It went up to 55, but took a big hit. It's been doing it pretty well in the swing trade. I'm going to throw that on the watch list. Why not, right? DJT. All right, traders. Anything I'm missing I did not call out? Now the pop last night, about $100. MD, good short, LUV last night. Let me look at that. Yeah, a big little hit on that one on the short, but it's, Leah, you've been here for a long time. You just right away, you see the spread is just ugly. All right, so let's get ready for the market opened up. If you're watching on social media, don't go anywhere. We will be back in 15 minutes. We take a 15-minute break before the market goes up. For everyone else, I'm going to post these stocks on our watch list, on our X, on our Telegram, on our alert service. I'll also post it here in the room, like as always. So don't go anywhere. Be right back. And in the meantime, make sure you do register for today's event. We'll see you then. And if you can't make it at that time, don't worry, we'll send you the recording. But in the meantime, let's get ready for the market opened up. We'll be back in 15 minutes. So don't go anywhere, anyone. And like what I always say, trade safe. All right, traders, we are off 9:30. Here's the bell. Good to see you all. Welcome everybody on social media. Well, good morning, everybody. Josh will be joining us in just about a minute. Oh, looks like he's here.
Yeah, Fausto, we are good to go. How's it going this morning?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Feeling a little better today than I felt yesterday. I mean, the day before that, but so far it
Yeah,
looks like
definitely
a
with
smart
Tesla,
market.
just the market move that we had recently.
Yep.
Um, this BCTX, just keep in mind right out the gate here for all of our members here joining us. Great to see Lawrence, Grant, Margaret, Chuck, etc. Not only do we want to wait the first few minutes at least here, but I would just say be careful on this BCTX. This order book still pretty thin. Bit of a spread here to start, so I see a little profit taking.
Yeah, I'm seeing all the program trading starting to kick in right now and a lot of stocks. Getting a little bit of sell-off. The video is starting to push up a little bit right here. Tesla's just like all over the place.
Yeah, I'm hanging back on Bitcoin now. I did really well throughout the end of last week into this week. I've been
Not to cut
saying,
you
like,
off,
I
Josh,
think
but I think we're going to get a halt right now on CERO.
Gotcha. I was saying fast. I think that Bitcoin's going to have a bit of a pullback going into the end of the month. I see like nothing crazy. Just you don't want to jump in now at this point. Just wait for one little pullback, then jump right back in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the CERO almost.
Yeah, almost a halt.
Good call out though, and definitely want to wait a few minutes here just to see what happens. And what else we got here on the watch list, Rich? We got the Xena trade. We got Pony.
You
A
know
couple
what's so
more
crazy?
familiar names: Intel and DJT at least.
You know what's so crazy about this CERO? Look at
What's
the
that?
year chart. This stock got destroyed, mangled.
So I had a question from a student, Fausto, this morning, just asking about a different trade. And the chart looked very similar to this, where it was just like constant downtrend. And,
Okay.
they were a fan of like the news. They're saying it's the wave of the future. You got to focus on the trend first, though. Trend is your best friend here, especially for a swing trade.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is a day trade, and maybe it could turn into a swing trade. But if you like the company, if you like the wave of the future, what they offer, it's kind of like I'll believe it when I see it type deal. And I mean that in terms of the chart more than anything. Bill asking on Bitcoin pull back to what level? Well, yesterday I was very much saying like we can't predict that. It's gonna be really tough. So I'm not confident about a set price. But if you want me to give you a guess, a Josh prediction, maybe like 89K.
I took a shot on this CERO.
Yeah, this got a good spread, really tight spread.
And it's holding strong here too.
For a cheap stock, that's like, I mean, we always say you want a tight spread, but for a cheaper stock like this, it's kind of mandatory. So it's good that we got this here so far.
Just got a big green ball that showed up. A lot of orders everywhere. I don't can't even like make sense.
Over to the AREB trade, Rich, you're saying that it took out an iceberg just before. Yeah, nice pop here from our morning watch list. This has been a good trade too. This has had a tighter spread, some icebergs here and there. Big one now at $4. This also hasn't been a great swing trade. It's been a good day trade though. So one look at that daily chart tells you the story.
Yeah, American Airlines making a little bit of a push. I know they came out with the earnings and looks like it's moving up this morning. I didn't add it on the watch list, but sometimes they come a little sooner than later.
Yeah, that chart wasn't looking like it wasn't as active as you'd normally think it would be off earnings. And I'm saying pre-market at least. Now it's definitely revving up. And more on the swing side, it's not on today's list Fausto didn't put on, but like obviously we've been focused on Palantir as a swing trade coming off the news with NATO. I know one of our platinum students or diamond students might have said Yehuda just called that out before. Yeah, I was discussing this actually with a student Jay in the afternoon, Fausto, in a coaching session, going over just swing trade setups and the chart, like we just said. But news, there's a catalyst behind this here, so this is a great swing trade.
Mm-hmm. It has.
Go back to that CERO.
Yeah, it looks pretty strong. Here it goes. Moved a little bit. Looks like someone just laddered up on level 4. He was at $1.30 or 28. He went to $1.30 for 50,000. Is sitting over there. A lot of green bulls coming in.
Yehuda asking, where's a good level to close Palantir for a day trade? Well, let me ask you, Yehuda, what time do we normally see reversals happen in the stock market, with our day trades? That's where you want to focus on going into this time of the day right now. Now, unless if it just full-fledged reverses now at this point, which we hope that doesn't happen, but if it's pushing up, you want to look for a cleaner run into the mid-morning.
Yeah, we're getting a nice little push right now.
Yeah, really nice call out, Fausto, and thankfully it's stuck. That's the part that's important for us here, but really good call.
Yeah, but everyone should have got in. I got in at a $1.10.
I love how you say that, though. I love how you say that. So
But
casual. You got to wait the first 5 minutes, guys. We teach you that. So it's easy to
well,
say
that's
it
where it
when we
was
say it, but if
5
you
minutes
didn't
ago.
jump in, you're following what we teach you to do. So
Yeah.
please don't beat yourself up if you didn't get in.
Yeah, that's all right. Listen, that was the first 5 minutes. It was hovering between a $1.10, a $1.20. Actually, I paid a buck.
That is where we teach
12.
you not to jump in, though. That's where I don't want anyone to beat themselves up. If you miss out on this type of pop, guys, don't cry over spilt milk. There is plenty of other trades that you could definitely be taking advantage of here now.
It's still early.
So early. The world's our oyster right now. Look
Yeah.
at soon. SOUN. SOUN. Turn over to SOUN, Rich. So, from our side list here, typically, but
AREB is going up again. AREB is going up. That was a stock that was on the morning watch list. Just made a nice little pop now. Man, it's so funny. Like, we don't. I mean, Josh has the. I mean, Rich has the chart he's showing. You look at the bottom. You look at some of these stocks where they were at. It is just incredible. It's like, if people actually still own that stock at 250. The only people I know that hold the stock that high are the owners of the company. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, it's
Rich, turn to that soon trade. That's holding up really well. I just called that out before.
Soon's.
Yeah, I want to keep on this. This is a nice stock we've done very well on back from the end of last year. Just pointing out that, listen, if you missed out on first 5 minutes, I don't do that. So I don't get too emotional. You shouldn't either. But there's plenty of opportunity left here. Soon is pushing up pretty well. And there could be a lot more on the CERO trade. Shoot, what if it goes to $1.50? So now for the soon trade, I want to see if you got a new order on the bid to show up here. Even Rich, if you want to do me a favor, just pull it up here. Get the book map showing for this trade, actually. There you go. Yeah, you got resistance here popping up at 950 for the soon. One just showed up a moment ago here too as well at 920.
That guy on SCERO just laddered up.
See, there you go. That's an opportunity to consider trying to jump in now. Again, a ladder there, then shoot, there's a chance this can go up to $1.50 perhaps. Pretty crazy to say though when it started off the morning at 90 cents, kind of targeting a 50% move.
I'll just bring up Rigetti. It's funny. I didn't want to bring up this stock. I did talk about it this morning, but now is moving. Just so expensive. I mean, that thing just obviously must have been an earnings play, but that thing was at 1,200, went down to 700. Tesla's moving up pretty nicely.
Yeah, good pop on Tesla right now for sure.
Yeah.
255 was a big level from yesterday. That's something that we were focused on in coaching yesterday. Made a good move off of it, but not like that run that you know what I'm talking about, that giant Tesla squeeze. It got close enough, but it still didn't get the job done to where it broke new highs.
I'll tell you, I was I sold it, bought it back, just I'm I have one foot out the door and one foot in the door, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I ended up selling it for a profit, and then I ended up selling it almost I sold it, and then I ended up paying 50 cents more for it. It started going back up. I mean, I don't trust him. You know what I mean? Like, this whole thing with all these protests that he's had, this guy's getting hammered. His company.
I'm going to tell you something, Fausto, right now. Finally, it just happened. And I might jump back in on it soon enough. But Rich, turn over to Neo. Remember we just said yesterday?
Neo?
Wipe your hands clean once you get to break even. I'm break even, baby. I was down on this bad, and it's normally a trade I should have managed a lot better, but I was more hopeful than anything at first. And when the Trump China tariff stuff happened, it beat me up a bit. So I've been telling everyone this. I've been down on this position. It's not all about sunshine and rainbows. I'm going to tell you everything, and finally just got out on this damn thing break even. So nice.
It's got a major resistance levels. I would get out of here. I mean, you know better than me. I really have been trading. It's been you
Oh,
made a
definitely.
great call.
I already got out. That's why I'm
You
talking
got
about
out,
it.
yeah, because right now it's like 4 is like a real major resistance levels. I didn't look at a level 4, but
Oh,
uh,
definitely. Yeah, yeah. Now I'll tell you though, Nvidia, that could be a decent opportunity. I saw this crazy option trade yesterday, Fausto. Someone ended up doing like a 2-year out contract. So it's not
lead.
like right now, but it's $10 million worth.
Wow.
So they believe that Nvidia is not going to go any lower than $80, but they're bullish right now. So they think that soon enough, like perhaps the US and China reach an agreement. I don't know
What
why
did
they
they
would do it
buy?
right now otherwise.
What did they buy?
It was the 2027 contracts. They sold puts. So they didn't buy calls, but they're selling puts, which is still very bullish. $80 strike price, I think it was,
$80 strike price?
which means basically they're not expecting it to go lower than 80 for sure, but they're bullish even right now. So it's even up from yesterday. There's a chance it might pop here.
It's
Just
moving.
mentioning it's a
Neo's
good
making
thing
one.
that we're seeing that because any sort of large money to the upside lifts, a lot of different moves. Tesla's going up, obviously.
Yeah, I
Palantir
guess
has been great.
yeah, Tesla, I could see it testing. Archer's doing well too, by the way. That was the other one that Archer's doing great.
Yeah, Archers are doing really nice here today.
Yeah, I'm so pissed, man. And I didn't buy as much as I wanted to yesterday. Once again, I'm at a situation. I maxed out all my money, and I'm like, do I sell something cheaper? They're all going up. You know what I mean? Like, do you sell something, free up some cash to buy something percentage wise and make more money on? That's where I'm at. I already did that with Amazon.
Go back to the soon trade, Rich. You're saying it took out that iceberg at 925.
Archer
It's like
looks
a pop and
really good.
drop, though. Hopefully, it can squeeze higher. Still looks good on the chart, but right now it seems a little flat. Alex, on the OKLO trade, that was on our list from yesterday, at least. And that's moving with news also. So news came out that Sam Altman stepping down from the board. He's the main guy behind Chat GPT, and kind of like an Elon situation where, at the board, it kind of pushes the stock a little bit. This
So
time, though, I guess taking him off the board is a good thing. Elon going back to Tesla is a good thing.
yeah, it is. By the way, the CRO is going back to the HOD at a buck 30, just so you
There
guys
you
know.
go. Like we said, if you got in the first 5 minutes, great. You got plenty of room to make money here on this still,
I
seemingly.
mean, Josh, it was a $1,000 stock last year. You
If it
see
can
that
go
on
up to
the chart?
20, that would make everyone's year, everyone's decade.
It's sad. $1,000. I mean, well, obviously it wasn't 1,000, probably all the reverse stock splits and everything, but my God. Yeah, I'm looking at the orders on Archer. You got about 200,000 sitting there, right? That big resistance at like 950. Be nice for a nice dollar move right there. I'm getting a lot of green balls on that one.
Also, just that student I was mentioning from yesterday, Jay, going over swing trading, also mentioned Robinhood, and that's off to a great start here as well today.
I had Robinhood. I sold it. I was going to hold on to it,
They're a great company.
but like I said, I was more of a fan of Tesla. After hearing the news on that, and that's the other problem, the issue I had. I was locked in these dividend plays, and I'm like, it's like I got to get the div. I don't want to sell and not get paid.
It's catch 22, right? Because oh shoot, another one. Fausto Hertz is flying up right now. That one I've done really well on. From I want to see if we could jump in on this Hertz trade, but I was gonna add on top of what you just said there. You can only do so much at one time, right?
Yeah,
So like when you're focused on your dividends with great reason, you're getting paid a shit ton on those. It might take your attention away from some other things going on, right?
it does. Hertz is a great call. I mean, that whole the only problem with Hertz right now, if you go back a year to 2 years, there's a lot of resistance levels where it's trading right now.
This had a huge iceberg order exactly where it's trading right now. Yeah, the other day at $9.20. There's like a
That's
250,000
exactly where.
share seller that got filled the other day there.
Yep, it's exactly where it is, around the 920-ish number.
The more it keeps nipping that though throughout the day, there could be a chance for a breakout. So we'll see. I will add though the one thing with Hertz, be careful that the tiers can get a little thin at times. Spread's good here, it looks good. Just be careful a little bit. Like, keep your eyes on it. Stock
Sure.
that Fausto you put on the morning watch list earlier. It was a great trade. Pony
Pony.
starting to turn into a racehorse here. Maybe this thing is up 20% at the highs.
It looks like it's making a Fausto flag right here. That was a good stock yesterday that we traded. The candlesticks are pretty ugly though, Josh. I mean, they're like almost like 15 cent.
Yeah, spread's not good either. So,
Yeah.
just calling it out since it was on the list and, it's trending up, but you're right. That's a little bit more dangerous. You do want to see an order on the bid show up, an iceberg.
Breaking news. Dow opened lower after China sends mixed signals on trade negotiations. Okay. Dow's obviously pushing up pretty decently. Amazon making an HOD. I mean, Bitcoin's going up.
Hertz holding at that resistance for right now, which it's not a surprise since especially we said in a 250,000 share from the other day. Probably take like a few stabs at it. That CERO is still kind of holding here. And after that last bounce, that was good for like 15, 16 cents actually. Just be careful if it doesn't break higher here, it may reverse sooner than you'd expect it to.
Josh, that Nvidia's moving pretty nicely.
There we go. There we go. A little push.
Yeah,
Right,
in the end.
Palantir's even better, which is it's no competition. They're all going up. And so for Yehuda, who's I think doing a day trade, it was kind of a short answer I gave, but it's with good reason. It's because we teach you so often, hey, at 9:35, 9:40 in the morning, you don't want to like assume it's perfect until 10:30, but you don't want to sell right now. You got to at least try and see if it can make that run. And Nvidia, Palantir, definitely making good moves.
Yeah, Palantir is up, just doing phenomenal.
And this is, this is going to be easy to say in hindsight, and I have no skin in the game. I wish I did, but that was such an easy swing trade, right?
Yeah.
Because I've been saying it this way, Fausto. When a company does a deal with another company, it's like, okay, it depends on the contract, the size.
Right.
When a company does a deal with one country, that's pretty significant. That's decent. That's like very important. When a company does a deal with freaking NATO, like 12, 13
a lot of
countries, the
countries.
largest countries in the world. So it's like, that's massive news. You knew that it was going to make a nice pop.
How much was that deal anyway?
Good question. Let me take a look. I actually still have Palantir up on my news feed. I was going over it yesterday. I don't think that they listed a price. I don't see any number, at least. It just says that NATO has acquired an AI military system from Palantir. Clicking the link to the Financial Times article.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they want to make you pay.
Man, that was.
I'll see if there's a price on it, Fausto, but I don't have anything yet.
That was probably the best trade right there when it hit the lows at 66, 68.
Oh yeah, you hit it right as well. I forgot about that actually because we're so harped on or so much harping on the NATO stuff. Yeah, this morning, Palantir announced a deal with Google.
Oh, is that what they did? Is that the news on it?
So that on top.
Yeah, the Google case that's going on is going to be very interesting. I know they said the CEO of DuckDuckGo is coming on. And obviously, they've been a thorn.
It's the news with Palantir this morning, just sharing it for all of our members on YouTube, Facebook Live, etc. Look at that. Zero going up pretty nicely here.
Yep. It's nice. I love the wave on that. It's like making a higher high. Had that nice pop early in the morning, first 5 minutes, right around buck 20, buck 30, buck 20, buck 30. And then you could see beautiful Fausto flag being built, and now it's going up. Where the orders are. Oh, is that right? 400,000 share buyers showed up at a buck 32. You know what
Oh,
that
it's
is?
probably not through well, let me see. It might be through the oh yeah, it is. It's through the other ECN. It's on Bookmap.
Yeah, it's there. It's there. Let me show you.
Excellent.
I'll put it in the alert, so some of you don't know what we're looking at.
Sam discussing with me about the NVIDIA option, activity that we were talking about yesterday. 10 million. Yeah, sounds like it, Sam. Makes 1.4 million profit. I mean, it depends on how far NVIDIA ends up running up towards, though, as well, right? Because I think he could exercise those contracts for $80 a share, which is insane.
There you go. So you guys should have got that alert. There we go. That's what.
Yeah, you know what? I don't even want to ask who's in this trade right now because I don't want to distract you. But once you're out of your trades, especially the CERO that Fausto called out this morning, you can definitely just post in the chat. Let us know how you did. This is where I'll tell you, everyone could have had the chance to get 10, 15, even 20 cents on this. More, of course, but on 1,000 shares, if you're making 15 cents on this thing, that's like a nice profit on a morning. So
Kerry, the CEO of NVIDIA, was on CNBC. You see that's another strategy I try to do, and that's why I want to keep the TV on certain financial stations, because whenever I hear the CEO is going to be on, it's a perfect time to buy, and in the middle of his conversation is when it's time to sell. Because it always cause some type of little bit of a rally. People like, oh, the CEO is coming on, whatever it is. So it's always a fun time to jump in.
well, that's exactly what happened with Hertz the other day. 345. I think it was the CEO, if not that guy, Bill Ackman. And the second he popped on, took off. CERO, this has been phenomenal. We've never traded the stock, really. I don't think ever. So it's pretty refreshing when this is playing very nicely here.
It's hovering. That buyer's still out there for 440,000 at a buck 32. See if he gets hit. I mean, it's testing him right now. Well, it's at 434.
And you know what? Again, if this somehow drops, sooner than we think, then this made a great run already. This is a home run.
Alex did really well. You got the OK. What'd you get? The OKLO?
Yeah, OKLO, you got about like 40, 50 cents on that.
Yeah, really nice. Nice. A lot of support levels on that, around that 20-ish price level. Good day trade. Great swing trade.
Just be careful that order got pulled on CERO.
Oh, he did. Yep. Okay, game out. I'm out. I'm out.
Just pulled the rug there temporarily. We'll see if it just crashes, which I would expect it to.
If he doesn't come back, I'm out. He pulled. He didn't get executed. Oh, you see that? Now we're down to 26.
Put that up on the book map, Rich, or show that on the screen there if you can.
You see how fast things could change on you, fellow traders. And if you're watching on social media, and if you're new here to cyber trading, these are the things that it's all about supply and demand. I mean, it's funny when I had Buff on yesterday. He's a money manager, basically manages about $1 billion account. And he said he just follows the money. You know what I mean? And trade very similar. He just has a different strategy the way we do it, being a money manager versus a day trader. But we're the first one with the Marines. He's more like the Air Force, like the Army, I guess.
Yeah, you can see there that order got pulled. And we'll just go back to our screen now, Rich.
If you didn't get out of that and saw that happen. And Josh, I like how you mentioned, you don't want to just say, you said that it was great. You don't want to distract anybody if you're watching the position, because that one trade right there, if you were distracted, just cost you about 15 cents.
Hey, like that's where we say to our students, in a good way, it's good to be selfish here. Focus on your exit first before you start typing and chatting to your friends here. Get out of your trade, manage it, right? And then, of course, come right back to us. We said the pony trade didn't really have a great order book, but it's still going up.
Wow, look at this thing. This thing dropped so fast. Holy crap. That is such a great lesson right there. Grant, you like to talk yesterday? Well, let me tell you something. Next week is probably going to be uh, a great talk. I got Jack Brewer that's coming on. I mean, this
He's awesome.
guy is just, he's been a friend of mine for how long did you say? 15 years? It's the first time I'm going to have him on my podcast, but we had him on before. He's wait till you hear it. He's a great, great, great motivator, speaker, entrepreneur, doing great for the community. We'll talk a little bit about what he's doing, but he's always on Fox News, Fox Business.
He was with Charles. I think he was on Charles Payne, right, on
He's
Fox
on
Business.
everything.
Yeah,
He's on everything. He does a lot with he goes to the jails and he tries to help these people to, you know,
criminal reform.
yeah, reform them, a little bit to get on their feet when they come out. He basically took over almost all the jails now as educating them. I've done some work with him. I've done some education for him, and helped the NFL players. Some of you remember him before, but it's great. We just rang the closing bell, the opening bell with Newsmax. He was on there. He's actually,
I'm going to call out just a few trades right now. I don't know where these came from, just out of nowhere. A couple category one stocks like the pot stock CGC. It's a nice move. That came from left field. QUBT, quantum stock, going up pretty nicely. A few decent runners right now still. And we don't need to call everyone out on right away. You go from one to the next. Keep moving around. If you missed out
Kerry,
on this,
wait, time out. Kerry, you had that stock at 1380 and you just sold it at 22? Oh my God. Good for you. $10 you made on that trade? Damn, Josh, we give her a round of applause.
yeah,
There you go.
definitely.
Here you go. Try to make $1 a day and you made $10. You just basically paid for 10 days worth of work. That's what we want to hear. Don't get too cocky now, Kerry. I know you've been around for a while and I don't want you to get too don't think they were going to do it all the time. You just basically hit a grand slam home run. Don't think you're going up to bat every time and doing that. But that was a great trade right there. That stock became tradable and non-tradable. Great push on that stock.
Yeah, it came from nowhere. What is that? Cantor Equity Partners. Is that Cantor Fitzgerald? Is that Lutnick, his company? Cantor or a Cantor? Hertz is trying to go back up again. There's a chance for that to eventually run higher and make that break over 920. Just the first test of it held very well. Needs to get over $9 though here next. So I have no entry on this just yet, but I'm looking for it though.
A couple of cheap ones out there. Here's another one. AMBP, a metal stock, metal packaging. When I see things like that, I want to see what other stocks are in that industry, but it's up 17%. Not too much crazy volume.
Oh, that's why. I was like, why did this not pop up on my scan here? I'm like, oh yeah, my volume, it's a little high there, the criteria. So it's trading 1 million shares. Yeah, definitely good call.
Did you call out Wolf yesterday or the day before?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like the mining stocks. Like WULF is like one of the mining companies, but long term, oh, you're saying Wolf, WOLF. You got them confused there.
Okay.
Yeah, this I think is an energy company, Wolf Speed. They got crushed after the election. I remember this because we were prepping up for the election, Fausto, and I found this like great list of stocks, or a great list going over Trump stocks if you were to win, and then Harris stocks if she were to win, and this was apparently on the Harris list at the top. I'm like, what is this company? I never heard of them before. Well, I'll remember them going forward because after November 5th, they got crushed like a bug. So they're definitely a Harris stock.
Pony's still looking pretty good.
Short. Oh, nice pop on Pony. Yeah. Again, though, like the spread, just be mindful of. But if you got in from like 630, 640-ish, doing pretty well.
It's got a resistance levels back on the 8th of April around 683. I don't have it on my level 4. I don't know if there's anything out there.
Great morning though.
Yeah, there's a lot. It was a lot to trade. A lot better than yesterday. Yesterday was more like brand names. You know what I mean? The market.
Soon's still going up. It's at 950 now already. So it did, make a pretty good move once it got back over 925. I should have given that more attention there on my own chart here. Kind of moved away from it after it hit that resistance.
Looks like Pony could test $7.
Was that Pony?
Yeah, I hate
Talking
the
about
tier
Pony?
size. Look at the tier sizes on that thing. I know you covered that in
Yeah,
class, but that
tiny. That's the only bad part.
yeah, a lot of single digits.
But again, if you got a good price on it so far, hey, you're great. You're doing well. Um, Soon is doing really nice here. It popped over that 950 even.
Yeah, you've been a big fan of that one. That one's moving up really nice.
Only trade I jumped into since the open, Nvidia. Well, the ETF NVDL. So we were mentioning that, of course, just with the unusual options thing, and figured give a stab on at least Nvidia. But otherwise, that's all I did here so far this morning. AREB breaking a new HOD right now. That also has been one of the stars of this week. This has been a really nice trade from this morning. Broke pre-market highs. This is very tradable.
Tesla just made an HOD.
Looks like IBIT's trying to make a small move back up a little bit here, but again, I'm more focused on other trades now heading into the end of this month. So, I'm long Bitcoin. We're getting a pop into May and June, but I see a little weakness now.
No, well, Bitcoin just moved. IBIT just got a nice little pop right here. Went from 83 to like 98.
Yeah, that's where I was just saying though, like, we got like 15, 20 minutes left until reversal time kicks in. I don't know how much it's going to squeeze up from here. The others have been doing a lot better, like the Palantir, the Tesla, soon the Archer. Chris saying Archer broke through resistance at E50 just now.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to, yeah, it just made a little pop drop, but you're right. It's still sticking though, Chris.
Oh man,
Good.
wish I had more shares of that. It really sucks.
Yeah, this is where we're saying it's tough to like be on top of everything. And when I say it's tough, it's like you don't need to be on top of everything. But, if you had a former runner that you did well on, you don't want to have it go up without you, right? So, like, it's good that we jumped back to Archer yesterday because it's going higher now. Been a good move.
Yeah, coin's doing pretty well too, by the way. I own that CONY. Coin's
Oh, yeah,
coming.
and let me just say, when I discuss about my thoughts for a potential little pullback on Bitcoin heading into the end of April, if news comes out about Trump and China, just deals, that changes everything, of course. So, that will happen. I just kind of playing musical chairs on that at least.
I really hope they get this thing resolved sooner than later with this whole tariff thing. It really, I mean, I know we're looking at, Trump is looking at the long-term effect. I mean, this should have been done a long time ago, but with other past presidents. But when we're in this market, it's like it's hurting you personally, but it's all about finding the bottom on some of the market. It looks like it's starting to feel comfortable, though.
AREB trade still has some potential. I could see it making a move up to $5, if not more. There's a gap for it to try and fill on the daily chart. So that's kind of what I'm looking at there.
By the way, just a quick little announcement. If you're watching on social media, we're going to be back here at 12 o'clock. If you have your phone, scan the QR code in the top right-hand corner. We're going to do a live. I'm going to do personally a live demonstration of how to trade these stocks and how we use level 3, level 4. If you're watching this recording, once again, just register and we'll get you be able to see the recording of it if you miss out. It looks like Palantir and Archer, they trade very, very similar, but they kind of stopped right now.
Zoom in on the daily chart here for this trade rich, the AREB. Zoom in on like a lot so you can see that gap. I don't know if it's going to go any higher than that, but it might get up to 5. It's good for another 30 or so cents, maybe. You go, Matt. Matt took a nice trade on Tesla right there. I was working with him yesterday on coaching and took Tesla in 250 option calls. Got nearly a buck on it though. That's a solid trade though, Matt. Really nice trade.
It's a good move right there on that stock, the AREB.
Let me ask you, Matt, just quickly here, because you've been with us for a while, and I just worked with you yesterday. Just what was the expiration date on that Tesla option call? I'm just curious. I'm literally just curious here to see. Today's Thursday, right? Because you might want to do the weeklies. Maybe it's the week out. See, I'm saying CEP, the one that Kerry killed it on, is a joint venture between 21 Financial. That's Jack Maller. Ooh, that's right, Sam. So that's why that's going up, huh? Yeah, it is Cantor, which I figured, but 21 Financial is run by a guy named Jack Mallers, Fausto. He is an early Bitcoin guy. He's been pushing Bitcoin for a long time now. Young kid. Yeah, he's like my age, so he's not a kid, but in terms of being a big guy in a big company, he's pretty young at it. And he's spreading the gospel in terms of Bitcoin. So I guess he partnered with Howard Lutnick.
Oh, wow.
That's big news there. Yeah, that's why it
Another
popped
big
so much.
shot.
That's CEP. This might have hit its top here for right now. Be careful if this just makes a big drop here, then it's going to reverse at this time. This might just be one last shake and a higher low, but
SMCI.
Marcella, very nice trade. Excellent job from her as well. Team coaching from yesterday, right away. Between Matt, Marcella, got a couple more of us actually from earlier. Very nice. Marcella took up 17 cents on that AREB trade.
There you go, Marcella.
That's the post right there from one of our students. Marcella got like 17 cents on that AREB trade that we just had from before.
No, the Kerry trade was awesome. She made that into a nice swing trade.
SMCI is doing pretty nice here. I know that we just called that out a little while ago. We do well on this trade, and a couple of our students find this to be one of their more favorite stocks to watch day to day. Got resistance here at 35 coming up here. The NVDL and NVIDIA is still holding up pretty nicely, so that's good.
Well, the SMCI is trading very similar with it.
Tesla's taking off right now. Tesla, nice pop.
Yeah, I'm looking at it's going to test. I'm not seeing anybody out there till like 260, and it's not even that many shares. It's only like 86,000.
I missed my mark on Tesla just here. Just again, there's so many trades we're going through. So if Tesla pulls back a little bit, I'm going to try and see if we can get support to build. It's over a price I was really watching yesterday with a bunch of us.
Let me tell you something. I would be so pissed right now if I didn't have this stock. I bought it. I sold it. I took a 50-cent loss. I had to pay 50 cents more for it. I meant after selling it, I'm like, because I was getting really nervous. Let me tell you, those protests and seeing stuff on TV, these people like scratching the cars and listen, at the end of the day, let's be honest. I mean, they did start to, they're part of the Green New Deal. You know what I mean? Like everybody on the left side of the, are green electric cars and stuff, and here's a guy going across the aisle, like going on the right side, and that's basically his clientele. He got rid of it. I mean, the sales were just terrible. But I don't know. I think the taxi thing is going to be big for him.
You got the Hertz trade back to that 920 price, Fausto. So again, there's a bunch going on right now. If you miss one, don't beat yourself up too much. The more you beat yourself up, you're going to miss the next move. So, Tesla, Hertz, you got a bunch, and Rich on Hood calling out SMCI, and there's a lot going on.
Josh, let me ask you a question. Do you feel nervous jumping in a car, going to sleep, and waking up somewhere and knowing there's not a driver in there?
Wait, repeat that. The answer is yes. Just repeat that though for me.
Do you feel, comfortable going into a car where there's no driver that you could just fall asleep and wake up and it'll get you there?
Oh yeah, no, I'd be like, what the hell's going on here, right? It's like, was I
Because I,
drunk
I
and I
I
just
could
like
fall
blacked out
asleep.
and woke
I mean,
up?
I would.
Yeah, no, it's especially at first, and not even like Tesla. I feel like everyone at least knows people like, oh, it's Tesla, it's Elon. Even if you don't like him, you know how big the company is. What about the other companies that aren't as big? You're like, well, who's this no-name company doing the self-driving? I don't trust them. I
Yeah.
definitely wouldn't be trusting it right away. So
Look at Bill Iron. This is currently absolutely not.
Uday says, without a driver, not in New Jersey. Yeah,
New
yeah, that's for
Jersey, try
sure.
New York.
Yeah, Jersey and New York together.
Yeah, maybe like in Ohio, where there's like you're in in the middle of the mountains, upstate New York or something. But like, geez, even Florida.
Mhm.
Florida's not that. Uh, the
Well,
highways getting on that.
Florida is weird because you get a cross between relatively slower drivers, but then super fast drivers that are up your ass every 5 seconds. So
Yeah, well, you
kind of
get
a
a lot
weird
of money down
mix.
there. Everybody's got these sports cars down there, and
Dude,
especially
oh my
where
God,
you live.
yesterday, where the hell was I? I was getting my dry cleaning, and all of a sudden I have this black Lambo pop up. It was like polished, it had like red trim on the inside. Literally right next to my car. I have an Alfa Romeo, which isn't like the greatest, but it's like decent. I'm like, dude, you just made my car look like a Prius. I told him that. He's like, come on, you got a decent car still. I'm like, you got the Batmobile over there. So,
Yeah, well, that's funny.
oh, there you go, Brad. Brad joining us in our trading room today. He pops in and out on YouTube. He'll be in our room every now and then. When you're at your desk, it's best to be with us here, and he is, and he got like 70 cents on that trade just now. The AREB.
Where'd you go, Brad?
Bill. And Bill saying, hey, leave the Priuses alone. I should have said something else, right? If I said Toyota, I'd probably get a large group of people, though. Bill saying, hey, not Toyota.
I don't know. We'll see. They're coming out in California with the Listen, I was just in Vegas, and it was funny because I saw one of the self-driving cars pick somebody up, but there was still somebody there, like behind the wheel, just double checking. Very weird car too. It had like I don't know, it had like something on the roof that took up the whole roof. It was just kind of weird. But listen, it's gonna happen. I mean, like, I don't know if anyone here drove a self-driving car, but I know my nephew has a Tesla. He bought the option on it. Now you can just pay a monthly fee. It's like $100. Before it was like it was like a $6,000 option. And he said he loves it. He said it works.
You're saying for
So
like the self-driving, right?
yeah, it's got self-driving, and it's gonna, listen, if it brings down cost for, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like I'm always going on the hiring a Lyft or an Uber to go to the airport, and it's like I always get screwed. Like one day it's like $40, the next thing could be an hour later it could be 100. You know what I mean? To get there, it's expensive. Um, it's definitely going to hurt that market. Which, by the way, where are they anyway? Where is Uber?
Good question. So I got a bunch of people on Twitter talking about Uber as far as just the long-term chart, the growth of the company.
It's
A lot
that
of
big
people are
interesting.
fans.
Took a big hit on that whole thing, but that was one slingshot on that one too.
A couple call outs I
I
wrote
think
there just
Lyft is going to get
before.
hurt the most because Lyft, they were not as how can I say, more of a conglomerate like Uber is with Uber Eats and everything else that comes along with it.
Check out what's happening right now as we're talking. This is like perfectly timed. Tesla's making this pop back up right now. It's like building a Fausto flag. And TS. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Well, true. Go back to Hertz there, Rich. I'm sorry. I'm mixing up my tickers now. Hertz looks like a Fausto flag. There we go.
Oh, Hertz.
Yeah, I got my tickers mixed up there, but Tesla's going back up also. Both are working out perfect. Yeah, Chris with a good idea, Fausto. Chris with a good suggestion there for you. Send your Tesla out as a cab while you're trading.
Nah,
You hear about that? You could basically do that.
you can.
Yeah,
You
they're
rent it
like
out.
basically like figuring that out right now. I think they've already figured that out, right, Chris? Some people do that.
Jesus, that's a great business.
They operate it from like their house. I think they just program it to like freaking plug in the rides. Yeah, Tesla's
How about
flying
this?
right now.
You
This is
got the
great.
robots coming out. How about just renting your robot out and as a handyman?
Yep. That's basically it.
Denver,
Just automated
trains,
businesses.
planes, airport, 32 miles, $1.50.
Here we go. And Hertz right now testing that resistance that we said, like 920-ish, 925-ish. So there's a bunch going on. A lot of good things happening in this market here. Yeah, it
I'm
wasn't
just
too.
curious how much they're gonna charge. Is it
What
gonna
was
be
that?
really cheap on to drive to compared to like an Uber? Like that's where I was going with this whole conversation. Like, you think it'll be cheap? Like, how much cheaper would it be to have that self-driving car without, now you don't have to worry about anything, paying that guy's fee, whatever.
Yeah.
I wonder what's gonna cost.
Nvidia holding here pretty well. We're getting a little closer to reversal time, so it's not to just get out. There's a chance these can keep going up. Just you want to keep your eye out for higher low, higher high. Just make sure the chart still holds here.
Kerry, don't go back. Kerry, I'm just gonna tell you right now, don't go back and look at CEP. All right, just don't do it. Don't look at it. Bring it up. Let's see what's happening on that one. Let's see.
Turn to it, Rich.
Cha-ching. Not CONY. She sold it at $22. Almost got to 30. Oh, I did post it earlier. All right. Can't go. I mean, listen, you did well. We've seen things like that tank, right? Bill says here in Denver, Uber prices dropped by about 20-30% in the last 4 weeks. Well, I probably the reason why, Bill, is I think that you're gonna be one of the cities that are gonna get the self-driving cars.
Oh yeah, Carrie, definitely. It's Fausto's just trying to rub it in and just you shrug it off. You shrug it off and you move on quick. The best traders here, much like yourself, already do that. So we're on to the next.
What's the news on it? I mean, the thing is freaking strong.
Well, it's the news that I was telling you about. If you was listening, just with
the one
Cantor
where
Fitzgerald,
they teamed
Howard
up with each
Butnick,
other.
and Jack Mallers.
Jack Merrill partner, yeah.
Very
Makes
pro
sense.
Bitcoin heavy, and they're combining basically companies, I believe. Some variation of that.
Makes sense. Look what the name is called. Equities Partners.
The oh, and it's SoftBank Rich, and it's Tether. Wow. It's like a super group, CEP. It's a very Bitcoin friendly company. Yeah, Jack Mallers, he's been in the Bitcoin industry forever, so he's very well respected. It's more Lutnick and Cantor Fitzgerald than anything, but it's a huge partnership.
Take out a lot of green balls on Tesla. I'll take a screenshot of it, show some of you people here that don't know what it looks like.
I'm telling you, I think this Hertz is going to blast way higher later on today. And if it doesn't, then you just got to react to it. You can't just assume that and come back for it to be at $8 later on. But it's been poking this resistance all day, Fausto, since you mentioned it and called out that 250,000 share seller from the other day. So the more it knocks on that door, the chance it blows right through it.
It's going to break out. There it goes.
You're just saying 255 is such a big level from yesterday, and once it repopped that as resistance, it was just smooth sailing.
Yeah, 260. It's going to test 260. It's got to test 260. That's the rule.
Exactly what we wanted yesterday, and it just didn't make its way up there. It was a great trade. It just didn't get the job done. I think you're right. I think today there's a chance it definitely makes that move.
There's a 200,000 share seller at 300. That would be great.
Definitely. And even if you're in on the TSLL, like that's a perfectly tradable type of ticker, and you get like 20, 30 cents on that. It's a really nice trade.
That's the one I own.
Oh, Fausto, big seller just popped up on Tesla right now.
Oh yeah.
100,000 share seller just popped up right now.
Yep, I see that.
Rich, put up book map there so
100,000
everyone can
shares.
see.
Things are changing a dime. You got about 230,000 sitting between 258, 259, and 260.
And you can pull back there. So I just wanted to show that at least for the time being. But
See, now will be great, will be very good lesson learned here is that if you see that go back up there and that order gets filled, that is a huge uh, good sign for it to go higher.
mhm, if it gets filled. So just remember, keep in mind reversal time kicking in kind of soon here. So this is more for
Roger
new
is calling
students
that out. Not to
because,
cut you off, Josh, but CEP just got halted.
yep, there we go. Still going.
Mhm.
So I was saying, just again for students like Ray, Roger, Carrie, Alex, Poe, Grant, Bill, of course, you certainly know here at this stage, but like you don't want to just jump into a trade to jump in. That's exactly why Fausto said what he just said. If it were to break above that iceberg, there's a good chance for it to take off. So until it does that, might be best to just sit on your hands for Tesla for right now. You had a great move from the morning, had plenty of time to get in. Yeah, this thing's going ballistic.
CEP?
Yeah.
They love the news on that. You know what? There was big sellers out 24, 25, $26. They pulled their order. Once that
IPOs
happened,
normally are like really bad and you don't want to trade them because they don't make this type of move 99% of the time. But this is an exception. This is off of like specific news of well-respected businesses, like $100 billion, businesses. So even if it didn't go up to 31 here, I mean, to go from 10 to 20 is good enough. So,
but that's just, but at the end of the day, Josh, that's a lot. That's a
oh yeah,
big
definitely.
ass move. You're talking about 3,000%.
Mhm.
I mean, $10 to 300% in 2 days.
Now, again, keep in mind though, like, hey, this we were saying how this is a Bitcoin stock. It is. It pretty much will be. We'll call it a Bitcoin stock. But this isn't moving like Bitcoin right now. Like, just look at IBIT. So I just
Yeah.
want to point out that they are two totally different things. CEP is a Bitcoin company, but it's not Bitcoin. It's making its own move today for its own reason. So just keep that in mind, at least going forward.
Palantir filled in a gap fill.
Oh yeah, you're right. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Great eye there. It is definitely going to fill that gap at this stage. Shoot, that's the type of gap that's something I would love to. I should have noticed that ahead of time.
So pissed I sold it.
It's up to like 112, 110, 112.
Well, we had that good run back in February. It ran from like 78 all the way to like 106 in one day. Thing just took off. It was a great run up.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. But again, though, hey, we can only jump into so much at once, right? So just
Well, I
take a
got
look at
out.
Hertz. Take a look at HTZ. And that's what I've been riding just before here,
Yeah,
last
the Hertz is
15
doing
minutes.
good.
So
And they
you're going
got
to
out.
miss out on some moves. You're going to run into some others that pop and you're in it. So as long as you're making money and you have a smile on your face by 4 p.m., that's what we train ourselves to do each day here. So
Does Palantir have an ETF?
yeah,
They do.
PLTU. I think Chuck was on that early this morning.
Is that what it is? PLTU?
Yeah, definitely less expensive. So it's nice.
It's always a 2X.
Yeah, 2x that one is.
Do you have a
Bill, you're in
dividend
on
rate?
the hood trade from 47.50. Let's get a nice push up to 48 at least for you.
It does have a PLTY. It does have a yield. What does that one pay? I'm just curious how crazy it is.
I think Dave's in that one, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Dave L., one of our students, he was talking about that from the other day.
I'm looking it up right now. It pays tomorrow, Bill? Wow, 101%. on
Adel
that
asking it for the UMAC. Is the spread too large? Not even the spread. Well, the spread is like definitely like a little open. It's more even at all the orders around the spread. You got tiny orders spread out there. That's going to make it jump around a lot. So it's up a decent amount. It's a good shout because the chart looks good, but that order book not really the best. And it's very good to ask that though here.
Chuck did pretty well on the OKLM. And by the way, for anyone here that's new here, I think we kind of addressed that. We don't talk about money here. Everybody does things in points because there's some people that are starting out with very small lots, 100 shares. People trade several thousand, so we don't like any egos. So if anyone here is like, seeing those numbers, that's basically how I was trained. And that's how you kind of like help everyone to be very successful and not be shy to share their thoughts. So just give you a heads up because someone just messaged me, how much money is that? Why is someone doing it in points? And that's one of the main reasons why. Yep, we're going to probably get another hold on CEP.
Yep, there you go. And,
Yep,
if I
there we
was
go.
to add on top of that, I've been going back to the gym a little bit more recently. You know who's really nice to talk to at the gym? The people that are looking to help you out and discuss technique and strategy. You know who's not like a good person to talk to at the gym? The jackass that's like taking pictures in front of the mirror, like lifting the dumbbell, like, ooh, like trying to show off. You know what I mean?
I know
Like you
exactly.
said, no ego, right?
You know what? I don't go to the gym. I have my own gym in my house. I just feel like work at my own pace. And just, I don't know. I just feel like by the time I get there and get out of my car, find a parking spot, get back, I mean, time to me is just time management. But CEP didn't get halted.
I don't
Adele
agree
just
with the
saying
gym
thank you.
analogy. Wayne there too. That was off the top of the head there too. Also, it just popped up out of nowhere. So might use that going forward.
That's all right.
This thing's going freaking ballistic. I mean, it's all-time high, so, no ceiling and focus more on psychological levels now at this point, perhaps. Your
Let me
fives and
tell you this:
tens.
the stock to be this strong at this time of the day is actually a really good sign. It's a really good sign. But we're going to be getting off the mic, fellow traders, and we'll be back here at 12 o'clock for open house. So if you have not registered yet, if you're watching online, you can take your phone, scan the QR code at the right-hand side. We'll post a link up there also. So we'll be back. We do our weekly free event here, education class. So please sign up for it. We'll tell you a little bit more about it, how to get into our trading room. You'll be here all day, how to find stocks like CEP, why Tesla's doing what it's doing, all these things that are making runs. No better time to learn than now. So don't lose that opportunity. Adele, you're more than welcome. And I know you're new, and it was great talking to you. And hopefully you're enjoying it. Listen, you haven't seen nothing yet. It's a great job trading. Just gotta, it's all about having a good team and having the support. Bill Ireland, you got the hood trade right there. Another really good move right there on that one. There's been a lot of really good moves. We keep a very close eye on the CEP. And if you do trade it, don't trade too many shares of it. All right.
You
So with
can't
that,
trade too many shares of that at all. Looking at that spread. I
it's
mean,
a
it's up
dollar.
so much. There's a chance it could keep going up higher, but it's the type of stock you want to just have some little fun on. Do small size.
Yeah. I think there's a short squeeze going on right now. So if there is, this thing could be a very fun stock today. So
All
we'll
right.
be back, everybody. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you back later on for this for the afternoon meeting.
Yep. And also for our 12 o'clock open house coming up just in a little bit.